All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Tech-ish Podcast. It's your boy, DMV Computer Man. And today, I'm in here with DJ SixthSense. How you doing, man?
What's going on with you?
I'm elated to have you in here, man. So how you feeling?
You know what? I think that things are getting better, and I think that it's about positive thoughts and positive reinforcement to make them get better. So
yeah.
That's the key.
So, man, I appreciate you taking this interview. Last time we met, it was me, you, DJ Gemini, and we were talking about how we're going to move forward past the pandemic, how DJs will move forward past the pandemic. And then I remember you guys saying that y'all might not be back in the club.
You know what? That's a reality because it is a personal choice because, you know, you can protect yourself in the club. But honestly, does it make sense to be in the club? When you are in a club as a patron, how often do you get to interact with the DJ? Do you get to talk to them and make a request in 2020?
If you know the DJ.
If you do, yes. But if you know the DJ, the same thing you say in person can be sent through a text.
Right. But do y'all check y'all text messages while y'all
so
DJ?
I DJ. Before the pandemic, I started doing Dave & Buster's every Friday. And I set little signs at the bars and at certain high tables where I had my cell phone number on there. And I had people text me their requests. Okay. Because what that does is it writes it down for me. It allows me to contact the person after the fact and tell them, okay, sweet. You know, half the time it's your song doesn't have a clean version. So I can't play it at Dave & Buster's with these 10-year-olds running around. But the idea is the interaction is seamless because everyone has a phone and a phone number and everyone has text. So instead of coming to me and asking me and interrupting what I'm doing, you can just say, hey, I'd like to hear Bobby Brown. And I can say, Bobby Brown's up next.
So DJs, y'all take note, man. That's why y'all watch this podcast. I be interviewing the hottest of everything that they do, whatever you guys want to do. And they going to give y'all, they going to be dropping jewels, so y'all should be taking notes. I think that was an excellent idea. I don't see a lot of DJs using that where they actually put out their information like that.
But guess what?
Another way is you can get booked.
You can get booked. You can get hired. You can get asked to do other things. And plus, you want them to call you. You want to be able to call them. Imagine now, all I have to do is set up a text list and send it to those people who are with me live at Dave & Buster's to go watch my live feed on the internet and send them a link. So I have all their phone. I have at least 100 phone numbers.
So if you were to do a gig at Dave & Buster's, you do it live too, or you just use the phone?
Well, at Dave & Buster's, it all depends on the pay structure too.
Right.
Because if there's a pay issue or a need, imagine if they
because that is free promo.
Imagine if they open up at 25%.
Right.
So only if their capacity is 400 people and they can only let 100 people in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But with Dave & Buster's, they have big screens all over that place.
Yeah.
So if I can pipe in and be on half of their big screens DJing from my house.
Yeah, that's gonna be sweet.
And with that, I'll be able to work with them price wise. Because if I don't have to move, I don't have to use gas, I don't have to move speakers. I can literally go through their sound system and their monitors to DJ. Right. That's not a bad thing.
Now, what type of equipment would that
require?
Yeah, what would that require you to have?
There's a couple of different ways you could do it. You could use Zoom.
Okay.
And have them have Zoom on their side and connect the computer to their monitoring system and plug into their amplifying system that way. You could use any of those. I don't trust FaceTime, but you could FaceTime. You could literally connect a HDMI connection outside of someone's phone into the connection to their monitoring system.
For the best sound quality, what would you recommend?
That's where you get. You may be better off doing a stream to either a Twitch or something that's internet based, because
and
a lot of
have
times
the club just go to
log on to that page.
That might be the best.
Well, I mean, Facebook,
but then wouldn't it be kind of delayed?
It would be, but no one would know because you're only on one side of it.
Yeah.
I would know about the delay because I would be at home and I would see when it reaches my broadcast link to when it reaches the stream, and when I see the stream link out, then to when I monitor the page that is broadcasting to.
True.
So that latency you can't beat.
Yeah, because we've done it here where I've done a repair live and then sent it over to the TVs out there, but I'm in the office.
And then you come out and see yourself finishing
Yeah,
up.
as I'm done. And people are still commenting, and I already ended the live, and I'm like, So, yeah, I've seen that latency. It kind of throws me off, but I guess once you do it, after a while, you'll get accustomed to it.
I use something called Restream IO, I think it's called, or Restream OI, and I will start my show and DJ my show, and then as it ends, I can log on to each of the social medias. It'll stream to 4 different social medias.
Okay.
And I'll be able to look at myself end on each of those social medias because of the latency difference.
Sweet. So, moving on to another topic, did you go to any of the protests that was going on in the DMV area?
So, I did not, because I felt like, I think that it's a perfect storm, because you put together people who are very passionate about the things that they're going through, and plus everyone is grieving. They're grieving the loss of the several people who we haven't had the proper ability to grieve. So in the process of putting all those people together, along with a pandemic that's not controlled, there's no vaccine, and about 50% of the people are using social distancing, 50% of the people are using masks. It is the perfect storm to compromise your immune system, and then compromise people's immune system that you love and care about. So I personally didn't, and the other side of it is I'm an essential employee at my job, so I constantly had to be the relief from the pandemic and the relief from the protest.
Yeah.
I was not necessarily allowed to become the theme of the protest on my radio station I'm on, because my job is to be the relief from it.
Right.
So going in and out of it is actually traumatic for me, because I'm like, I get in the middle of it, I get wound up, and I feel like
you can't do your job because now it's biased.
Exactly, because I'm feeling like I need to.
That's how
I want to play Public Enemy.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. Doing what I do is like, I want to bring in customers of all races.
Definitely.
And I don't want to look one-sided, but it definitely looks one-sided.
But the other part
that's how society is.
Definitely,
you know what I mean?
Because there's certain groups that just can't understand what's happening.
Yeah,
and there's certain people who are affected by it, so they understand wholeheartedly. But you and I, on the other hand, also have to protect our kids. So
we got families to raise.
Yes. So if we compromise, if we're in the wrong place at the wrong time and get hit with a canister, or in the wrong place at the wrong time, and get arrested for nothing.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. Now, 20-year-old me, I'm out there.
Without any change happening at these protests. You might have took down a statue, but you have not passed any laws.
That was my next question, was how do you feel about the progress of the protests?
We're not there yet. We are getting tokens. We are getting chip shots that are hopefully taking the emotion out of it, but it's deflating it, but it's not any progress. There is not going to be any defunding of the police.
I feel we've got slight progress. If we get some legislation passed,
that's the only standing progress.
Then we can celebrate. But I think we celebrate too soon off of the pettiest stuff ever, and we out here partying in the streets.
Emotional.
But we need legislation to pass. Then we can really party. When they see us ease up, I just feel like we losing our momentum. We got a lot of momentum from them riots and stuff. And then Muriel Bowser put the street down, and then it was more like, all right, let's ease up. We're going to party. We're going to get real organized with the protest now, and we only going to do it when they allow us to do it, when they're telling us we can do it here and there. And I feel like the government's organizing these new protests. So when we was doing it, just like we gonna show up wherever the fuck we want to show up, I felt that was the best. That was the best strategy.
Certain people are still doing that, but it's not as wide as it should be.
And it's not getting no publicity either.
With these protests, there should be signing of petitions. There should be a plan connected and some, like you said, some legislation that will cause a change.
And not just anger.
And not just emotion. Because we're grieving. These protests are out of grief, and this is basically George Floyd's public funeral.
Exactly. Yeah. So, it's a sad thing. So how do you feel about the new plaza though? How do you feel about
Black
that?
Lives Matter Plaza being right on top of the White House? I think that is beautiful, and I think too. It is a good first step.
Yeah.
Now, when we come up with the Black Lives Matters laws,
that's when
Trump did his executive order, but his executive order basically protected police.
Now, what if we get it and Trump signs it? Does that mean re-election for Trump, or how do we play that?
I think we are in a very ugly
or do we
situation.
Be like, yeah, we used your ass and get the hell out of here?
I think that Trump is out of touch, but I still also...
I think he does stuff for likes, and I think he's a
clout chaser.
He's a social media president.
He is.
And he got in off of that shit.
But
I think that he might do some shit for likes, man.
But the sad part is, sadly, if you think of Joe Biden is as out of touch as Trump is.
Definitely.
But
that speech he put together, I don't know if Obama wrote that shit or what. That shit was good, man.
Of course it's going to be good because he's not elected yet.
Yeah.
We can't hold him to anything. He'll say anything right now.
Yeah.
He's just putting the tip in right now. He's saying, baby, I love you. Let me just put the tip in right now. But I guarantee you, once he's elected, ain't going to be no Vaseline from either one of them.
All right, so I'm going to wrap this one up. But my last question, sex, weed, and guns. What's that all about,
bro? Well, sex, weed, and guns is sex, weed, and guns. But I do a show, and I call it Sex, Weed, and Guns because sex, weed, and guns are, in my opinion, the three biggest industries in the world.
True.
So someone is dealing in sex or dealing in marijuana or dealing in guns.
You're going to have to add computers to
everywhere in the world. It is, but you know what? If I added that, it would be... You lose people with computers because everybody don't have a computer. But I guarantee you everybody wants sex or wants the feeling or needs the medical part of marijuana or needs the protection of a gun.
Nah, that's so what do you guys talk about on that?
With it, what I try to do is I'll interview someone and give them their platform to speak their piece and to make their truth more relatable and less taboo. Because cool. Dealing with a lot of folks who are either in the sex industry or I interviewed a gun instructor who's female. You know, these people are human, and all three of the things are something you shouldn't be afraid of because they're personal rights, in my opinion. And if someone is making you feel ashamed from a personal right you have, telling you can't do what you want to do with your body, whether you need to own a gun for protection, or if you feel like being a sex worker and making money for performing sexual acts with someone, or whether you feel like you need to smoke marijuana for your anxiety or for whatever it is that you need it for, or even you feel like you want to sell it because it's a come up and it's a product you can get and you can sell. There really shouldn't be a regulation on a plant, on your body, or on your security and self-protection.
True.
So that's sex, weed, and guns.
So is it like more like political talk?
It's a combination because I guarantee you I will ask everyone on their craziest sex story, their craziest weed story, and their craziest gun story.
Sounds like comedy, politics.
So one of my
real
guests
shit
answered that she had sex in front of a party she was going to in a driveway. And I said, really?
She had no problem talking about that.
Another guest said her favorite position is with one leg up from behind and you have to choke her.
Have to.
She has to be choked. And I was like, okay. As a married man, I had to hold my breath for a second because I was like, how do I respond to that? Like when someone gives you the recipe to their delight.
How you respond is you show up with a shirt that says "I can't breathe."
You're right. That's the good "I can't breathe." But at the end of the day, everyone who talks about things and is able to express themselves with those three subjects is going to be in a better place than someone who can't. If you say sex and everyone clams up, then you've lost a great situation. You've lost interaction and you've lost growing. And when you same thing with weed, same thing with guns. If we're afraid to communicate about those subject matters, then it's a loss.
True.
So, and I guarantee you other people are, and as they network and pull themselves together and use those three subject matters to put themselves ahead, we are staying behind.
Definitely. Well, bro, how can people catch you if they want to find you online or on your podcast?
I'm easily findable. You can hit DJSixthSense.com. You can go to DJ SixthSense on all social medias. And you can go to sexweedandguns.com and just spell it all the way out. DJ SixthSense.
Okay, I'm glad you spelled that because you know it's some
people mess it up all the time.
Motherfuckers in the DMV.
People put the number 6 TH. They put SIXCENT 6 cent. Like I've had so many, but thank God that eventually y'all pull it together.
Well, man, I appreciate you stopping through to do the interview. Appreciate you coming through and letting me do your computer repairs.
Oh, man. This is the only place I'm going to bring all my stuff.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a long-term relationship, and we might get another interview in the future. Follow up on how DJs will be moving.
Oh, man.
Thank y'all for watching this, and like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll get back to y'all at a later date, man.
Yes, indeed.
All right.